Hey, Mr. Clash here, and today we're going to have a look at the top 5 witch attacks currently for 2017, and unless it gets nerfed it will be the top 5 still for 2018 because these attacks don't look like they're going away anytime soon. So coming in at number 1 we have the triple golem, or let's just say 3 golem 3 jump attack. I've done videos where you've seen this before, but this is the top 5. Let's have a look. Have a quick look at the troop combo. 8 wizards, 3 giants, 8 witches, bowlers in the clan castle, 1 rage, 3 jump, 1 skeleton spell, 1 poison spell for the enemy CC. Okay, as with all witch based attacks, let's just let this run through so you can see how it's used. You can predetermine where you want the 3 jumps to go into the base, or use 2 jumps as a predetermination and then keep 1 jump up your sleeve to see what may or may not need doing if you're just going to be hitting willy-nilly and doing the old 30-second scout trick. So in this case, a little bit of practice was done beforehand in friendly challenges to get the speed of the dropping down correct, because everything had to go down pretty quickly. So you can see the 3 jump spells were predetermined in this case. 1, 2, and 3 already down. Of course, the trick is not to place them too soon, otherwise they'll run out. And as you can see, generally what happens with this one, you end up with a couple of wizards and a couple of witches pathing down each outside area, and the rest all goes into the core, some witches, some wizards, and you generally don't end up using the queen ability on any witch attack really until right near the end of the attack. That's generally what happens. The kings die out pretty quickly. They do a little bit of tanking. The 3 golems, of course, enables you to get all the way through the base in this one with the 3 jump spells. Only 1 rage spell needed, and that's generally when you're going to be sort of semi-encountering the clan castle. On the way out, have the poison spell for the clan castle, rage for your troops. Lots of skellies all raging around like crazy, distracts the clan castle, the queen, any wizards and witches that go in, they take out the clan castle. So that is attack number 1. I'll just leave that up there for a second so you can just have a look at the troop combo. Okay, let's have a look at number 2. Alright, coming in at number 2 you have another 3 golem attack, this time with 2 jump, 1 rage, 1 heal. 10 witches, bowlers in the CC of course, and 2 wizards, only 2 wizards. Generally with this particular attack, the wizards, 1 wizard each goes down on the outside corners where you see the witches go down. So let's have a look at this, and you'll see that in action. The 2 golems have gone down initially, 3 could have gone down, and then the 10 witches. Now you will notice that the wizards have gone down there and there. I've also got a video on this particular attack, so if you want to see that, just like with the others, check above for when these attacks are on. You'll see videos that I've done on those particular attacks, as well as check the description below, and I will link to those videos as well so that you get to see a video specifically just devoted to those attacks only. So this is number 2 on the agenda, on the list of the top 5 witch-based attacks. Now, as you can see, it's all gone pretty well. Now, with only 2 jump spells into the core, you sort of come to a little bit of a grinding halt in terms of being able to push deeper and deeper and deeper. The skelly spell, as in the previous attack, is up to you where you actually place the skelly spell. Now, you'll notice this cannon on the left-hand side, up the top here on the left-hand side, is going to be a little bit of a bother, and it's starting to shoot things, so get the skelly spell on it. Could have got that skelly spell on it just a fraction earlier, but the skellies will all sort of gradually take out the cannon. Now if you keep an eye on those skellies, you'll see that they do a tremendous amount of cleanup all on that side. They actually end up pathing around and help take out this right hand side troll Tesla. Now you'll see that all those skellies have just pathed forward in front of the queen, so they keep the queen a little bit protected until the golem can get in there. And that's what I'm saying with the 2 jump spell. It kind of stalls out as far as the push deep into a base goes. You don't quite have the same push, but you're changing the troops, you're changing the spells so that you can keep more troops alive with the heal spell as opposed to having an extra jump spell. So there are pros and cons for each type of spell combination, and number of wizards versus witches versus golems type of a thing. So in this case, where you had the triple jump, which is sitting at number 1, then you have this one, which is sitting at number 2, in no particular order. These types that don't use healers really exist because as people were developing some bases, that witch slap itself might not have been so good for, witch slap of course being the thing with healers, then these bases that might not have been so good for witch slap because healers will get taken out by air defense, then you bring in a healerless gobo wee, and that is what we are looking at here. So this is attack number 2. Obviously here are the troop combinations, so just jot those down if you'd like to make up that and have a bit of a practice. Now let's move on to attack number 3. Okay, here we are at attack number 3. Now have a look at a slight little difference here. Now this is your more traditional-ish kind of witch slap, I guess you could say. However, as I've often said with the witch slap is you can change out, outside of your witches and the healers, you can change the troop combination to be whatever you think, whatever you want. You can change the troop combination to be. I've used hogs, I've used packers, I've used all kinds of different troops outside of the witches. Now in this case what we're doing is we're bringing in Valkyries only. Okay, so this is like a Valkyrie witch slap. It has been sometimes called a red witch attack, but essentially it's a witch slap with Valkyries. So have a look at this troop combination. It is also a very powerful one. Let's have a look how this goes in action as well. Okay, so as with the others, what you're really doing is you're bringing the witch slap part in with the healers. So you're putting the 4 witches on each of the corners with the healers, and then you're going to be coming in with the Valkyries and bowlers into the middle. Now there are only one jump spell and 1 rage. Now the idea generally is once the Valkyries come in with a jump spell, you're going to be using a jump spell to get the Valkyries in, you're going to be healing them pretty quickly in that location and then dropping the rage. Now the reason you only bring the 1 jump spell but you are bringing the rage, the Valkyries will rage through a lot of stuff and rage Valkyries will cut through a wall very, very quickly. The rage spell also helps any witches or any part of your kill squad that's come in, also enables them to take out the enemy CC very fast, so you have a poison for that. And as you've already seen, you've got that 1 skelly spell up your sleeve to use at a point of your determination. So wherever you think you're going to need the skelly spell, it's not just to automatically drop it here, automatically drop it there. You have to drop the skelly spell where you think it's best to actually drop the skelly spell, and where that is going to be different for every attack. In this case, you can see here I've just dropped it on the Expo. The Expo was taking on the Queen, so I let the Queen deal with that Expo for a little bit until the Skellies really got a good handle on it, and so the Skellies with the Queen helped take out the Expo and the stuff that was in that box. And now those Skellies have all eventually, of course, they've all perished, but they did their job. They took out some things, they distracted some things, and that's their job. If they can take something out, that's fantastic. At the very least, they become a distraction, such as dropping them for Teslas, and then the Teslas will start trying to attack those particular Skellies, while your Queen or some other troops can come in unhindered, such as bowlers or even witches that could possibly drop in some more skeletons or hit a Tesla or something with a little bit of extra firepower. So the skeleton spell is a little bit up your sleeve at on this attack. So just as it ends, we'll just have another little pause of it and have a look at the troop combination so you can jot that down. Of course, the trick with this one is making sure you get your funnel correct. So there we go. They are the troops. You can see there 8 witches, 4 healers, 2 wizards, 7 Valkyries, 4 archers. Got to look at those corner huts. 2 heals, 1 rage, 1 jump, a poison, and a skelly spell. Okay, so that being said, let's move on to the next attack. Next on the list, coming in at number 4, we have, again, it's a gobo wee, no healers involved in this, 2 golems this time, and 11 witches. Now you can swap out 1 witch for an extra wizard and maybe 8 troop space of something else, like maybe an extra 2 wizards, even, as sometimes does happen, extra extra other wizard and some archers, something like that. Anyway, here's the troop combo. Again, only 2 jumps, 1 rage, 1 heal. More your traditional witch slap spell combination, but the actual witch combination is what makes it a devastating attack. So the 2 golems goes down. Line of witches, line of wizards, as you generally get with the gobo wee style, as opposed to the more traditional witch slap, which would be your witches coming in directly from the corners with the healers so that they take down the side of the base and your push goes in through the middle. In this case, you have some witches go down the side, some go into the middle, and of course you end up with more skeletons and because you've got extra wizards and so on and so forth. So there's a couple little nuances and things like that that make the difference between the witch slap and the gobo wee style attacks, but they are all witch-based attacks, which is what you want. So the Barb King goes down. He's heroes are real no matches in these attacks. As I keep saying, it doesn't really matter whereabouts the heroes are. If you can get the hero out pretty easily, like you could here on the initial push in, well, that's fantastic. If you can't, then it doesn't matter too much. You should be more concerned with your entry point into the base. What's the better way to get into the base, as opposed to, such as when doing a hog attack, you need to be concerned about whereabouts the queen is or how you're going to deal with the queen. In these witch-based attacks, the queen will be dealt with by witch skeletons, bowlers, or heroes, just as part of going through the motions of the attack. That's what will happen. So this is your general 2 jump, 2 golem style. No skellies, just your more normal double poison sort of action. Again, have a look at the troops used, jot these down, keep them in mind, or have a little list of attacks. Okay, so that is number 4. Now we will go on and have a look at the 5th witch attack of the top 5. Okay, and here we are. This is number 5. Now have a quick look at the troop combination. You'll see 4 healers, 9 witches. Now this is probably the one that's closest to the original witch slap. It was the first change, let's just call it, that came out of the original witch slap, and that was bringing in 1 golem. And most consistent one, and that is using 3 witches on each of the corners, with 3 witches backing up behind the golems in some way, shape or form. So let's have a look how this one all goes in action. So we're going to have the witches come up first. Now, slight delay, slight little offset on the witches' deployment, simply to help them get a little bit of ahead of themselves before you start subjecting the golem to a whole heap of punishment on that mortar in the middle. Now, of course, when you don't know what's coming up, if you don't know there are Teslas and so on and so forth, it's a little bit hard to plan ahead and to anticipate every single Tesla that might be in the place. But you can see now all of the wizards have gone down, all of the witches are now down on the field, and Lava Hound's come out. Don't worry about the Lava Hound, save your poisons for the pups, and or save a poison if you can get away with no poisons on the pups, because witches will take them out. Do try and save a poison maybe for the hero or something like that, for the queen, just to slow the queen down, just to help. Now you'll notice with the original, or with the more traditional sort of a witch slap, I guess you could say, that getting the 2 jump spells in and pathing through to the mortar, not the mortars, the expos, taking out both the expos, and look at that, got the poison on the queen, slows her down exactly like I said. She's slow, and 1 poison on the pups, there we go, poison on the pups, poison on the queen, slows her down, gives you extra chances to take her out. Like I was saying, if the bowlers or the heroes or the skeletons usually take out the queen, and in this case it's the king that had to do it because the bowlers went walking. Now you'll see here that a whole heap of bowlers have gone walking, and a little bit of distraction in the middle from the golem, so that those bowlers and witches will take out those cannons, no problem at all. And because the king went down, now what you do see is the king goes down pretty well in every single witch slap or witch-based attack anyway, because he's out front and he's tanking with golems. So he's kind of like a golem that can destroy things at the same time. Now, I have used a P.E.K.K.A. Instead of a golem in the middle, and you did see the one earlier where I used 3 Valkyries, and I sort of chuckle about that because someone did once say, "What? Valkyries?" as if to say, with the 7 Valkyrie attack, like, what the hell? No golem? How can you do this? every witch slap has a golem. Well, they don't all have golems. I've done them with peckers and hogs as well. And that will be rounding out the top 5 witch attack combinations. So do try them. What's my favorite? Look, I would have to say something like this I have a soft spot for. I do particularly like the 3 golem 3 jump one. I think that is possibly the most versatile one. It doesn't require the air defenses to be in a certain place because your healers might get nuked or something like that. I think across the board it's probably the most versatile attack of the 5. That's the 3 jump 3 golem. So that rounds out the top 5. Now, of course, question of the day before we head off, and that is, why do, seeing as we use witches, and they have a lot of, we've seen a lot of Larrys, why do Larrys always stay calm? Why are they always calm? No matter what's going on in the base, in the war, the Larrys just calmly going about their business. Why are Larrys always calm? The answer? Because nothing gets under their skin. Anyway, thank you for sticking around. I do appreciate it. Leave the video a thumb up. Leave me a comment. Let me know which favourite combination is yours or which combination is your favourite. And if you use a different combination, do please let me know that as well. I'll give that a go. And I'll see how effective that is consistently. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video.